First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX and WIBX950.com.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Mayor Jackie Izzo in Rome. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
I'd have people yelling at me.
Story there, Bill, about the car.
They'd be yelling like, buy an American car. What are you doing with a foreign car? And that was, you could not find a Yugo part. If anything went wrong on that car, you had to get a specific Yugo part, and it was tough to find those. So you paid afterwards, but yeah. Did you ever own a
$39.95, Bill? What could you do?
Not bad, right? Did you ever did you have a favorite car when you were growing up?
Yeah, I always had the Oldsmobile Cutlass. I always loved that car.
I had a Delta
really
88
sad
too.
when they got rid of it.
Yeah, it's funny you kind of fall in love with those vehicles, right?
Yeah,
It's tough to let them
that
go.
was a nice car. It was just kind of perfect when I was in my younger days.
I had a Delta 88, Oldsmobile 1970 Delta 88. Loved that car. Sold it. Missed it so much. I bought it from the person I sold it to, and then realized why I sold it in the first place, because I kind of hated it. It was falling to pieces. But the things we do when we're younger with vehicles.
Caller just said the Fiat, I guess, apparently is the former Yugo.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Fiat.
All right. Okay, Mayor. So this is really big news when you're talking about the Beeches, which is just a staple in Rome. And I know that the DeStito family wanted this to stay intact. What do you think on this new plan for the Beeches?
Well, I think it's fantastic. This has been talked about and in the works for a few years. Nescentia has really done their homework on the property. You couldn't have a better setting. And we've had a real gap in our community for a senior type housing development where people can age in place, feel comfortable, feel safe. And Nescentia will be able to offer other amenities there now because of the property. The property, it's endless what you could do. There's 53 acres at the Beeches, and some of it backs up to an existing residential neighborhood. People don't really know that at the back end of the property. So they're going to rehabilitate the Beeches restaurant building itself and bring that back online a little bit. But they're also going to keep the commercial business park that's already there. So that's good news for all of the tenants, and it's fully rented. So I just think that it's going to give people the opportunity to live in a really nice setting. They can create their own neighborhood right on the grounds.
Yeah.
And so, we've got a grocery store there now, Hannaford's, which is doing very well. It's within walking distance. There's a bank, a credit union. We kind of are, and then if you go the other way toward Elmer Hill Road, you've got some nurseries. There's a coffee shop down there. So we're kind of building another neighborhood with a mixed-use neighborhood on that northern end. So just really exciting and happy for the seniors.
Yeah.
Because they've been looking for living spaces where some people don't want to be in a mixed neighborhood with young children anymore. They would rather, not have the noise, I guess.
Right.
And it'll be perfect there.
And beautiful, too, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have to disturb the natural setting, which is really great. If you take trees down, you still have trees that will be already full grown. You'll have the shade. You'll be able to walk. It'll be walkable within it'll be like it's a development already with roads and water and sewer, and everything is just right there. So, and I think you'll feel comfortable, sitting in your backyard or or taking a walk on the grounds. And it's along the bus route. You could pick up a bus. So I just think there's so many positives to that area. And kudos to the DeStito family, because they were really cautious about what would become of the property if they sold it. There were other opportunities to sell it. They could have done different things there, but I think they wanted to leave something that the community could be proud of, and I can't see a better reuse other than this whole concept that Nescentia is going to build.
So I have someone asking, will the businesses that are there, will they be evicted? And I believe the answer to that is no. That's going to stay a part of it. And then the other part is this person is saying there's no sidewalk to walk from Beeches to Hannaford's. You have to actually walk out onto Turn Road. Is that the case? And will there be a change? Well,
so now, with Hannaford's coming into the picture, and we've had a lot of housing being built in this area, one of the things the city's starting to look at is pedestrian connections. And so we will be looking at things like whether we can do public sidewalks, how do we do that. We're doing a study, actually, from Chestnut Street all the way through to Griffiths to Floyd Ave, this whole corridor.
Okay.
Because we need pedestrian connection throughout all of that. And now with this development at the Beeches, we'll go north a little bit and take a look at that. But yes, these things are exciting. They give the city the opportunity to take a look. I can't guarantee things will be in place in a year or a couple of years, but it's now on our radar.
I want to ask you where you stand on where we are right now with COVID. Our numbers are coming down. We're in the best place that we've been since the fall. And hopefully with vaccines and everything else, we're moving in the right direction to get back to some normalcy here.
Yeah, it appears as though we're doing well. I'm a little cautious. We normally have one more respiratory season here at the end of March, early April.
Yeah.
I think it's critical how we pass that now. I think once we get past there, let's just say after Easter time, middle of April, I think we're well on our way to a good summer, spring and summer. And then, the vaccines, they're a game changer. And I think when we get to the fall, we will hear a lot more information on the efficacy of the vaccine and whether there needs to be a booster as we go into next winter.
All right.
But, we're looking forward. The governor seems to be loosening up some of the restrictions, which is a good thing for our businesses. The only thing I don't really see on the radar right now are these mass gatherings, large numbers of people. I'm torn as to where we are with that at the moment, but at least we're getting some of these other kind of events online and gatherings.
Well, you're right now. We're going to have people right now thinking about weddings. We have the potential of having one of the biggest wedding seasons I think we've ever seen. If you're in that business, because a lot of people moved things from last year to this year. Same thing with graduation parties. The question will be, where will we be in June, July, and August to do these things? And, of course, there's talk of the state fair. There's Honor America Day. There's so many different things that are exclusive to our summers that had to be passed on. And you wonder where will it almost feels like the big events might end up missing yet another summer.
Well, we talk about Honor America Days now almost every day. The problem I see, the weddings, so the weddings are coming back, but with a lot of restrictions, mainly around testing. Certainly when you have Honor America Days parade or the concert on the lawn, we can't do testing. When the state gets to that point, they have to understand that people are going to gather, thousands of people at a time. Yeah. You can't social distance. It's similar to the Boilermaker moved itself out until I think October.
Right.
So if you're the Boilermaker, does the big after party take place? I think those are the things that from a public safety perspective that we're looking at, I don't know if we're going to, and I think you're right, I don't know if we're going to see those massive, large gatherings yet. It remains to be seen. Maybe we can do something on a smaller scale. We're looking at that as well. But right now, I don't see a parade with 10,000 people.
Yeah. I want to throw two quick things at you. Number one, the governor. He seems to be persistent in that he's going to wait for his due process, and he does not look like he's a governor that's going to resign. He's going to try to survive this thing. Your thoughts?
I think it's really unfortunate. There was a sixth accuser last night. That's kind of like a tsunami.
Yeah.
If you're promoting a workplace environment like that, then it's wrong, and something needs to be done.
Yeah.
And there's just there's no excuse for it, none whatsoever. But it is interesting that the media, how they treat a Democrat versus a Republican.
Right.
Let's just leave it at that. I think this process
that, of course, would be excluding us because we've been ripping the daylights out of him. As much
but I also think
terrible
that,
though when you think about it.
This is overshadowing the nursing homes.
No doubt about it. Yeah,
should not be on the back burner. That should be on the front burner because we've seen it. That happened all over the state. We had it happen in this area, and that's
it's almost as if he's welcoming this story to overshadow the nursing home story. I can't see either one being good for him. Andrew, you have something there?
No, I was just going to say about. I lost it again.
Okay.
I do have an apt question from Frank. Will this new development at the Beeches in Rome augment the property tax income for the city?
Augment the property tax income?
Yeah, that's the way it was written here. I guess. What's the
impact?
Is there a financial benefit to the city for this to go forward?
Well, obviously the business park already. That property tax situation won't change. I don't even think that we have looked into that yet.
Okay.
Any nonprofit that is creating profit has to pay taxes. So on those portions, so there will be property tax there. We haven't looked at the impact. I mean, the decision was just made yesterday, so we'll be looking at that from an assessing point of view as we move along. But the business park itself generates a lot of property tax income. That won't change.
And then last question I want to hit you on, and I don't know how much you played a role, if any, in this, but of course, we went through a very difficult time with the Board of Elections, and now the Democrats have named a commissioner. The Republicans, I believe, had 3 candidates, and they've all, I don't know if we've all caught this, but I believe as of yesterday, all 3 candidates dropped out of the running, and they're now back to square one with no candidates for a Republican commissioner. Is that true, and do you know anything about it?
I do know that there isn't a candidate right now.
Yeah.
I think what's happened here is, again, these situations, I'm just amazed that in the Congressional 22, we became the last race called in the country.
I know.
I would never have believed that in a million years. So many things in this national were just uncharacteristic. And you can't explain it, but unfortunately, some of the errors that were found by our Board of Elections here in Oneida County were egregious and unforgivable. People cannot think they have registered to vote, and then they're disenfranchised.
Yeah, that's the worst of all that happened, I'm afraid.
It really is, and for anybody that's involved in government, that's something we need to be very concerned about. I know that the county is working very diligently, and so is the Republican Party, to find the right candidate to become the next election commissioner. And I hope that they can wrap that up soon. And the 2 new election commissioners can start moving our local board toward a better resolution of these problems, because this year is a kind of an off year. You've got just mainly pretty much local races.
Right,
but
right.
again, in 2022, you're going to have
Right back, yeah.
the House, the Senate, and you've got to get ready for those federal elections.
I believe they in the congressional race they were already campaigning for 2022 last year.
It never stops.
It doesn't.
No.
It's unbelievable,
it's
isn't it? It's
ridiculous.
like the election day. It's okay. Let's get ready for the next 2 years here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
It's amazing the number of senators that have already said, "I'm going to retire."
I know.
Just, they're not sworn in, and they're retiring. So.
I know. It's crazy.
Mayor Izzo, one quick question from a listener. He just called in and asked why City Hall is still closed, and will it open soon?
Yes, so City Hall, we are making some improvements there for when we open. We only want to, when we open now, we want to remain open. So we're going to do business a little different. So once we open, we're going to have to take temperatures. People have to wear masks. We have to do health screening. We'll have to take contact information in case there's a case so that we can participate in contact tracing. So we are arranging to do a lot of the business that needs to be done right in our lobby area so that our employees will come to the customer so that we have physical distancing.
Yep.
And so as I said earlier, I would imagine somewhere around mid-April or so we're getting ready to reopen City Hall. But I want to stress that anyone that needs services has needed services during this pandemic has gotten them, and sometimes in a better fashion. Most things have been one-on-one. We have had a couple of incidents where people were positive and didn't disclose that to us. And luckily, our employees met them outside. But so, unfortunately, people are not always honest and forthright. They shouldn't have been anywhere near anyone or in the building. So we're being cautious. But yes, we're getting ready to reopen the building.
All right, Mayor. Jackie Izzo, we appreciate it, and we'll talk again real soon.
Fantastic. Everyone have a great day.
You do the same. Thanks so much. Mayor Jackie Izzo in Rome.
Hey guys, time to get in on the action for the biggest moments in basketball with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections, place your entry, and win up to 100 times your money. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit of up to $100. Just download the Prize Picks app and use the code GET100. That's code GET100 on Prize Picks for a first deposit match of up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.